Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a Monday edition of Iowa Pagan News on the Fairyland Radio Network. I'm joined once again by my co-host Christian Mann, and also with our special guest Ann Walsh, singer, songwriter, musician.
Hi,
Welcome,
everybody.
Ann.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be part of your show today.
Well, we're actually happy to have you as our guest and getting to take the time to sit down with you and get to know you and get to know your music as well.
Great. I appreciate that.
Okay.
How are things, Anne? How are things with you?
Things are good. Coming out with these new songs has just really been a great uplifting feeling, and I've been getting a lot of really great feedback for it. But I have to admit that the gentleman who produced the album, Vincent D'Annunzio, he was the brains behind it. I just wrote the songs and the lyrics, and he's the one who put together a great production. And I think all the songs have a different feel to it. So uh, the last album I had was really that I came out with in 2016 called "Hanging with Ann Walsh at the Lake," was pretty much mostly folk songs and folky-ish songs. And on this release, Vinny took it to another level, and he's a fabulous drummer. So he not only produced it, but he was drumming a lot on the release, and it gave it a whole new flavor, which I really I really enjoy presenting to the public. So it's all good.
And the new one is the one that we're going to be hearing later on in the show.
Yes, it's called Ann at the Bay. So when I did my first album was called Hanging with Ann Walsh at the Lake. I actually had a lake house out in the Pocono Mountains, and that's where I wrote the songs out there. And so I called it Hanging with Ann Walsh at the Lake. And then we ended up having to sell the lake house. We were there for 17 glorious years up in the Pocono Mountains. But just because of work and a few other things, we ended up having to sell the house. So I moved to Bayonne, New Jersey, and Bayonne is a peninsula. So I decided to call the album Ann at the Bay, meaning Bayonne. So waters include, I have a lot of water in my song names, not song names, in my, my release names. But it's been fun. It's been fun to have a little bit of a theme like that. So
Our co producer Ed Sott is up in the Poconos. He's in Pennsylvania. So he says hello, neighbor.
Tell him I'll come and visit him. I'd love to get out there again. But it's the most perfect and beautiful place you could ever live. It's in the Pocono Mountains. Absolutely. I hope to get back there when I retire. There is a lot of snow up there, but it's glorious. So I'm sure he's enjoying it there too.
He's in Pittston, Pennsylvania. So he's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Right. Well, here in Jersey, it was only a 72-mile drive, so we were able to go there pretty regularly when we had the house. But I said to Vinny, as time goes on, I want to get back there because it was a beautiful way to live. And we're avid bird watchers, so the birding in the Poconos was spectacular.
Oh, I bet
we have some pretty good birding in Bayonne, but it's it's an urban environment here. But I belong to the Bayonne birders, so I go out twice a week with them, which is great.
Oh, nice.
Very
I'm in Utah, so it's pretty here. We're on the west side of the Rocky Mountains, and so we have the big, beautiful mountain view.
Oh, how nice!
But we're in an urban area, and so the wildlife and the bird population is, we're right from the Salt Lake, so we've got seagulls and we've got pigeons and things like that. But the exotic birds are more over in your area, and we just don't get them here. So it's exciting to.
Well, come on over to New Jersey, and we'll entertain you. We'll take you out with the Bayonne Nature Club, and we'll all go birding together.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Hopefully, one of these days, I'm gonna get out and about too, and make a trip up that way as well when I have the chance to.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome to come here and visit with us, stay with us, whatever works for you. We'd love to have you.
Are you listening, Ed? Are you listening, Ed? Get us an event up there that we can come and do.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's see. Now, Sandra just made a comment. Yeah, one thing I'd love to hear before I pass on is loons.
We had an opportunity to hear loons out in Pennsylvania. In the 17 years that we were out there, we only heard them once. Wow. And it was glorious and haunting. But it's they're fabulous birds. But at 4:00 in the morning, and they're honking.
Yeah.
Really? Well, the rarity of this is not a novelty at 4 a.m.
Yeah. True. That's
the
true.
place to be for loons is up in Minnesota. They are known for having loons all over the place.
Wow. That's got to be something to hear. I mean, I have to say, they were in and out pretty quickly. And the first night it was great. And the second night we're like, when are they going to leave? Because they're just honking all night. But they were a beautiful bird. We had a lot of eagles out in.
Oh, wow.
And one day we were driving back to the lake house, and on our neighbor's roof, there were 4 eagles sitting on top of the roof. And we think it was 2 adults and two immature, because the immature would be they would all be sitting together, and then the parents would poke them, and then they'd fly. And then they'd come back, and it was like they were trying to attack them. It was just so extraordinary to see. We were mesmerized by that display. But it was very exciting to see that many eagles at one time. But out there in the Poconos, they're everywhere, and it's splendid to see. We see them passing through in Bayonne on the Newark Bay. We see the eagles because that heads right out to the Atlantic Ocean. So, but I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Oh, that's all right. No, there's I can. Eagles have a tendency of doing that. The parents will, they'll get them perched up on a high place, and they'll basically poke them off till they shove them off. Say, have at it, kid.
Yes, we never saw that kind of behavior before or since. We were just in the right place at the right time. Wow. And it was on our neighbor's house on the roof. So that we were very lucky to have. It was on Easter Sunday also. I'm not very religious, but it was Easter Sunday that this was happening. So it was a very memorable time. And I don't know why I didn't run in and get my camera. I was just too fascinated to see her behavior.
Just watching it. Yeah. Isn't that how it goes sometimes with the things that fascinate us? It's like, man, I wish I would have had my camera with me or handy at the moment.
Yeah,
because that was spectacular, but it's the memory that's in there, and that's what I think makes it even more special. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, I agree. We kept a list of all of the species of birds that we had seen out in the Poconos, and we had about 127 species of birds that we saw. So as you can see, we spent a lot of time just relaxing on the back porch with our binoculars, and we also have a scope. So. And it was exciting to see the birds that don't usually fly through, but they get knocked off. They get knocked off in a wind shear, and they end up flying over your house. So, I'm a devoted birder. I find it very relaxing.
Ed wants to know that since how you're on the lakeside, you see blue herons.
Yes, we see blue herons here in Bayonne also. In fact, we had a day last spring where we counted 22 great blue herons on Newark Bay. So yes, we see blue herons, and they're just extraordinary. No matter what, they always take your breath away. You could see them 1,000 times, but you can't get enough of them. They're just so statuesque, and also they eat these huge fish. That's one of the things that they will pick up a huge fish, and you can see it go down its neck, into its stomach. So science.
Science is fascinating. Let's try to bring it back to music. If you're, or I mean, we can go on about birding if you want to. I'm good with that, but
No.
we want to actually promote and talk about the musical aspect of Ann Walsh. So that's kind of what inspires you, would you say?
Well, I guess I have to say I've never evaluated my songwriting. I just sit down and come out with some words. There'll be times when I'm reading something in a magazine and a line will catch me, and I'll get my notebook out and I'll write that line down, and then I'll write a song about it. And I have to say I'm not the most wordy songwriter. It's easier for me to come up with the tune, and then I not struggle through the words, but
they don't come quite as easy as the melody side of things.
Right. But I do turn, if somebody says, I listen closely to people's conversations, and if they twist a really good line, or something comes out that's really interesting to me, I'll write it down, and then I'll try to write a song about that, or I'll use it in the song. But I have to say, since I came out with this CD, I haven't been writing much, so I really want to get back to that. It's just, I think that, COVID kind of kicked us all in the butt a little bit, and I thought I'd be writing more. But I do belong to a Hoboken Songwriters Club, and we meet every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. So I get the inspiration from the other people in the group. Sometimes there's 4 of us, sometimes there's 7 of us, but that's a really good way to be inspired when you're hearing everybody else's songs. So, so I am doing that, but I haven't written anything in a couple of months. I think this CD has, kind of, you got to take a break a little bit. Because I don't want to repeat myself either with the song.
Oh, yeah, of course. I know that we've got a lot of musicians that during the time when they're stuck at home, I think we've talked to so far 3 musicians who said that they have written at least about 40 songs since they've been stuck at home.
Wow. I wish I have that kind of output, but maybe I will. You never know when things are going to, the energy is going to strike, and you'll have the time to do it. One of the things I wanted to mention is that the producer, Vincent D'Annunzio, he has a very long history in the New York music scene. He was in this band, one of the first punk rock bands in 1977 called the Feelies. And and at that time I was living in northern Jersey, and I moved into New York and got very interested in the New York scene back in the late 70s. And I heard about the Feelies, and I heard that they were from the town that was next door to where I lived. So I was very excited that this great band was having an effect on the New York music scene. So I started following them. And Vinny and his brother, Keith D'Annunzio, were in the band. And I was just so thrilled. First of all, I liked Vinny's name, Vinny D'Annunzio. I really like that name.
I've actually heard that name.
Yeah, well, Vinny was one of the founding members of the Feelies. He worked with Richard Hell and the Voidoids. He's got a pretty great CV. So I was fortunate enough to meet him in 1991. And I went up to him and I said, "You were in the Feelies. I lived in Hawthorne. You were in Haledon next door." So, and then we started dating. And now he's produced my song, and he's also my husband. So there's a little, family. But he's pretty, we work very professionally together. Because I was at one time that I started. I was really interested in the Hoboken music scene, and I met this guy. I had a gourmet food store back in 1991, and this guy came in who I knew was from a local band, and I started chatting it up with him. And he said, "Oh, okay, so you're interested in singing? I've written some songs. Why don't you come by my place and we'll see how it goes?" And it went great. And so we formed this duo called the Marys, because I had a dog named Mary, so we called ourselves the Marys. That's back when you could be very whimsical about the name of your band.
Mm-hmm.
And we were together about 5 or 6 years, and we played the Bottom Line. We opened for Steve Earle at the Bottom Line. We really got some great shows, and we were gigging at least twice a week, and we ended up, going up through the Northeast to, work in Boston and Vermont, but New York, being right next to New York City, was a great, great geography, because back then too, there were a ton of places to play, but playing the Bottom Line and opening for Steve Earle was probably the biggest thrill that we had. And he came late. He missed the first show. And I was so mad. Here we had 2 opportunities to open for Steve Earle, and he misses the first show. He missed his plane. Oh, I was so annoyed, because it was 2 sold out shows. And then we just had to wait for him to come for the second show. So Steve Earle, if you're out there, I'm gunning for you, buddy.
Cool. Now, Ed is also a musician, and he wanted to know if when you're meeting at your songwriters club, do you take your instruments with you?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we all have our guitars, and the guy who has the music space has drums and a bass guitar, and he's got a lot of musical instruments, although I just play the guitar there. So, and we all play songs that we've just written or are writing, and we have a nice musical exchange in that way. It's pretty relaxing, but it does prompt me to. I don't know why, since we started this again in January, getting together, and I still haven't come up with anything. I also run a business, so.
Okay. What kind of business do you run?
I have a bookkeeping business, and so, and now is tax time. Everybody has to. So, I'd rather be doing music all day, but now musicians don't get paid much money anymore to play, unfortunately. So, but I just do it because I love it. And it's not really about the money. So
that's been a very common theme with all of the musicians that we've talked with is, money's not the money is not what it used to be, and it's just become kind of, we play it for the sheer joy of doing it, and so that's what matters. Right. That's what's important, is just being able and having the ability to continue playing.
Right.
Whether the money's there or not. So,
yeah. The sad thing was, right before COVID, a lot of the venues in the area, in the Hudson County area, were really doing great. And suddenly it stopped. I think it was 8 months before even the restaurants reopened again. So, yeah. So I feel bad for the working musicians who need to tour.
Right.
For their money, for their well-being.
Are things really that closed up on the East Coast still? Because being in Utah, we barely noticed the shutdown. We really, honestly, everybody got up, went to work every day the way that they do.
Yeah.
There were masks everywhere, but there was still traffic on the roads. There was still, people walking up and down the streets. It was very much business as usual for us, even during the hardest points of the
that's great.
of the pandemic. But I'm hearing from other locations that it was a lot more locked down than that. Was that your experience?
Yeah, well, I think Bayonne. I'm not sure how many people live in Bayonne, but I think it's like maybe 200,000 or something. And our homes are. I'm looking out at the neighbor. They're about 40 feet away, somewhere closer. So people took the lockdown seriously. I mean, I remember going out right at the beginning, and there weren't even any cars. And I'm on a main drag in Bayonne, and there weren't any cars going out. So it was, a ghost town, and people were really, we were really scared. I felt, and I'm all, triple vaccinated and stuff. Whenever they were available, I went for it, and that's what I thought. That's one of the positive things is that New Jersey was really great in getting everybody vaccinated, and when I went, we were in our car. We got vaccinated in our car. And so they had a ton of people working, and I got very teary seeing that these people wanted us to live, and they were out there, and they were so nice, doing it. So that was a really great sign to me that humanity is basically good, and these people were lovely, who were vaccinating us. So so that helped.
Well, I know that every musician that we've spoken with over this past month, they have said that they have all been chomping at the bit to get back out and play live music, because that's where they can make the connections with people, and to have that energy return to them from the people listening to their music, because that's what keeps them going.
Yes.
And it's been severely missed since. So with the carnival, with the festivals and the event venues and the restaurants and clubs and things that are opening back up, they're getting back out there, and they're really, really excited about it.
Some of the nicest and most interesting places, venues, ended up having to close around here. So there's less venues to get a gig at, unfortunately. But hopefully, things are looking up. And everything's getting back to normal. Like, I can go to the store now, and I don't have to wear a mask. So they've taken that, the masks, and said, okay, the stores now say you don't need a mask to come in, but you have to be vaccinated. That's what it says. They want you vaccinated. So I don't know how they can, know who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated,
right.
But it's nice to get back to normal.
Yeah, nice. I think the assumption is that if you're not vaccinated, you're not out and about.
Right.
You're probably right. Probably right. I still see people wearing masks in the store, though, and that's fine too. To each his own. Whatever you need to do to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a masker still, but that's because when I got the first shot, I got really sick.
Oh.
And so I'm like, okay, rather than risk getting even sicker with the second or the third round, I'll just mask when I go out or I don't go out.
There you go.
Yep. Same here. Is unfortunately, I wound up becoming disabled from the first shot.
Oh my God!
I contracted Guillain-Barré syndrome, which took me out of the equation for several months.
Months, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just this. In fact, it was just this past January that I'm starting to get back into the swing of things. So,
best wishes to you.
We're very, very proud of the progress that he's been making. I mean, he posted a video just a week ago where he was actually walking without his walker for the first time since at least, what was it, March of last year?
Yeah, March of last year.
Oh, you poor thing! I'm so sorry.
We're proud of him. He's doing great. Yeah.
Good.
He's doing great.
All right. We're going to get to the music video, and then
Oh, good.
Right afterwards, we're going to hear from Sister Moon Store.
Oh, good.
We're going to be premiering their new promo that we made up for them. They kind of are guinea pig for this first one to show everybody.
Video ads, yeah.
So,
I look forward to it.
And I know Misty's tuning in. So, Misty, stay tuned. You're going to be seeing your promo coming up here just in about a couple minutes.
Great.
Looking out my window, I can't feel a thing. Looking out my window, I feel my life will never be the same again. Waiting at the station, wanting to go in. Waiting at the station, I know my life will never be the same again. I know my life will never be the same again. I know my life will never be the same again. I know my life will never be the same again. Stepping off my spaceship, I see everything. Stepping off my spaceship, I know my life will never be the same again. I know my life will never be the same again. I know my life will never be the same again.
That is a very good video. Very good video.
That was awesome. The transition from the black and white was just, there was the build. Oh, it was great. Yes. Beautifully done.
Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. Listen, it was so great to meet you guys. I thank you so much for having me on and showing the video. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this commercial break. We're going to be hearing from Sister Moon.
Great.
I just walked into this coffee shop. You'll never guess what I found.
Actually, wrong one. Wrong one. That is.
I'll let it play, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be. Yeah, we'll get to that one too. So.
Sister Moon, Apothecary and More is a collaboration of local island witches bringing you handcrafted tools for ritual, amazing apothecary, custom vinyl work, merchandise, and so much more. But we are not just an online store. We are a sisterhood, a platform, and a voice for everything that is magical. Join us for our famous Tarot Tuesdays from 11 to 4 Eastern Standard Time for a discounted reading with our amazing in-house intuitive reader and priestess, Wolf Spirit Energy, Beverly Oberlin. You can find us on Facebook at Sister Moon Store or on the web at sistermoon.shop. So fly on over and stop in for a spell.
I just walked into this coffee shop. You'll never guess what I found. All the help is deeply engrossed in metaphysical times. You should too. I'm at the Egyptian, 475 Park Avenue in Idaho Falls, Idaho. You get your very own copy for free, and we're open till 10.
There we have it.
Cool.
The video for Sister Moon and also the video for Metaphysical Times.
Wow.
Thanks.
Great. So interesting.
We are looking to advertise in that space, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the show. Let's get back to Ann.
Yes.
All right. So that was a very tremendous and powerful video. The transition from the black and white to the full color, very vibrant changing of experience. Can we talk more about that?
Sure. I have to say that I had nothing to do with it, unfortunately, except I wrote the song and sang it. There's this wonderful gentleman by the name of Greg Veneer, who's a friend of Vinny, who was, my husband, and who also worked. He was the one who put everything in place. Vinny called Greg and said, "Hey, could you do a video for us for the album?" And he said, "Sure." And then he gave us that back, and we were blown away at how he was just able to capture everything and more. To me, that I'm so honored and pleased that is representative of my song. So we're lucky to have all these great artists that help us and want to work with us. So, but that's the only video we have so far. So we've got to come up with a few more. But thank you for enjoying it. I want to send that to people in the Ukraine, because there they are.
Mm-hmm. Bring it up.
I wish there was some way I could get it to them, just to know that hopefully they can just fly out of there into outer space, out of the war zone. It's just so hideous what's going on. So,
well, we'll see what we can do about that.
Oh, good. Good.
We'll see what we can do about that.
We are a radio news network after all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, Sandra just made the comment, so that with your love of birds, wouldn't it be awesome to incorporate the bird sounds, the bird songs into your music?
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's just a matter of getting a good recording of it. Mm-hmm. But thank you. That's a great idea. Maybe the next song I write will have that in there. I don't know what it is. I keep my birding and my music separate. I don't know why, and it's a good idea to co-join them somehow. But all my pictures, the pictures on the album, the back of it is the two birds.
Yeah, show it on you. There you go. Yeah.
And I took that picture. That was my photo. And I took the front photo too.
Can you show us the cover?
Yes. That's we had a pansy in our garden, and we were talking about how, what should the front cover be. So I said to Vinny, I took my cell phone. I'm like, well, we should let's do a picture of this. Birds and, and pansies. And then we just, we blew it up.
Mm-hmm.
Big. I can't believe it. I was like, when we were pulling the album together, I was just like, what are we going to have as a cover, the CD cover? What are we going to do? And then there it was, very simple. It was in our own hands, because we were talking about having this one or that one do a picture for us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a homegrown product. But I didn't put my name on there. I just felt like, that I took the photos and stuff. I just felt like it was enough that,
Oh,
I didn't want to push it.
right. I
Right.
can understand that. And basically, they can also find your the photos from your CD cover at your website, which is annwalshmusic.org.
Yes.
And you can see the album cover and pictures, and they can listen to your music there as well.
Yes. And this is a new release, and hopefully we'll gin up the website a little bit more with more photos and things. So we just released this about 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new product. I hate calling it a product. It's a new musical endeavor for
It's
us.
a new album.
A new album. I don't know why I can't say that. I don't know why I can't say those words. But yes, I love my new album.
It's beautiful. And the video, is the video on the site or is that found somewhere else?
No, you can go into Facebook to annwalshmusic.org, and it's right there in the front. You can click right on it. It's right below. We have all the songs on there, and then right below the songs is the video.
Was the video? Yep. And Patricia said that song was beautiful, and Sandra also chimed in and said that sometimes we need to fly.
Yes. Fly to another planet where there's beautiful greenery and very calm. I really like the way it ends with the
Now,
astronaut.
I would say the part with the walking along the trail. Now, was that up in the Poconos as well?
The gentleman who did the video, he lives in Pittsburgh. So,
Mm-hmm.
And that must have been him walking out. I didn't ask him. Well, I was like, I couldn't thank him enough for such a great.
The way it all tied together. I had no idea that wasn't your. It all. I mean, it meshed with the music. He did a phenomenal job of piecing it together with it not being from the same person.
Yes. So, I could never do that. I could never come up with something like that. Even though he came up with the song, he interpreted it beautifully, and I just can't thank him enough. I'm trying to get him to work on another one of the songs, but he's a little bit busy, and I don't like to push anyone. But thank you so much. I'll let him know that of your beautiful words about his art. And it was so easy to work with him. He's just like, here. He didn't go like, what about this? What about that? He goes, what do you think of this? And we're like, it's perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was beautifully done. And the music, I mean, it's I was expecting, but you had mentioned that at the beginning of the show. It was less folky with this.
Yeah.
This album. It went in a more kind of bluesy direction.
Yes.
It's like blues with a happy twist.
Yeah. Well, we had some killer rock guys on there, like Lenny Kaye with Patti Smith group. He plays with Patti Smith. Do you know Patti Smith?
Oh, I've not met her yet.
Oh, okay. Have her on your show. Patty's been around since 1975.
Oh, wow.
And Lenny is her main guy who plays guitar. And so Vinny, I was starting to tell you, Vinny was in this band called the Feelies, which made a big splash. And from that, he was able to go into other great bands in New York. And he got to know all the New York musicians who were doing well at the time. So, and so Vinny had his own, he had his own, not history, but he was known as a great drummer. So he was able to ask the cream of the crop to come in and play on the songs. And I was like, are you sure they're going to want to play my songs? And they all, and Vinny, you know, he was the one who produced it. And everybody was very satisfied, beyond satisfied. So I was in the right place at the right time, had the right people.
Yeah.
who were willing, like Tim Carbone. Did you guys, he's in Railroad Earth. Have you, they seem to tour. They seem to tour the United States, Railroad Earth. They've been around for a while.
I'll have to look them up.
He played the violin on that. He was the one who was the violinist on that. And we have a studio that's out in Delaware Water Gap. We have a little studio, and all the musicians are on the same floor. So Tim was right across the hall from us, and the recording studio was right down the hall from us. So we were able to just walk into Tim's, you know, little office and say, will you play violin on our song for us? And he said yes, because we're all part of that community. That's what's so nice, is we're part of this musical community. And we get to go out to Pennsylvania. It may not be where we were in the Poconos, but we were in the Delaware Water Gap. So it was a great. It's great to be out in the beautiful weather. Oh yeah, the beautiful mountains out there too. Yep.
And Edward is saying that it's always a great thing when you meet and collaborate with other musicians. It's something that you musicians really love doing.
Yes, it was a thrill. It was just a darn thrill, and there was no complications. There were no fighting, no fist fighting in the studio. I mostly stayed out of the way. Vinny and Don Sternicker, who owns Mixolydian Studio, which is where this was recorded. And Don is a superb, he's a superb master at, you know, the turning the knobs on the, I mean, he has a beautiful studio, and he and Vinny got along famously. They've been friends, you know, I think for over 40 years, and they work beautifully together. So I would just let them be in the studio, and I would go down to our little studio, and I would, you know, relax and play guitar and stuff. So I stayed out of the way. I would just come in and go, that sounds great. That's great. All right, I'm going back there. So it was all a very pleasant experience, and we're all very proud of the way it came out. But I have to say, it was because I had incredible people working on this. So I wrote the songs, but I can't take the rest of the credit for what they did with the songs. And of course, Vinny's production of this was really great, really spectacular. So it was good, positive vibes all around, and that's what music should be like that.
It gives real meaning to the term. It takes a village.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm just sorry. Not that I'm sorry, but I'm like, yeah, look, this is me, but it's me and the 20 other people who played on the album. It was fun coming out with the CD. I know that they were kind of obsolete, but I'm very proud to. I had 100 of these made, and I don't know. I know it's old fashioned, but I just was thrilled to have my CD out and be able to use it with people. So.
You should be thrilled. That's huge. Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely. You. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very proud of that, and it's very beautifully done, very well put together, and the music is fantastic.
You are the sweetest thing. Thank you so much for saying that to me. I really appreciate it.
True. I've listened to it, and it is beautiful. It's that lay back, relax, and kind of get into that meditative state.
Yes.
Beautiful sounds that help. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you so much for saying
that. Thank you for doing the work.
I'm going to get back to where you guys are encouraging me. I'm going to start writing some more songs.
Good deal. That's
yes,
we love
please.
Hearing that. Yeah, we love hearing that.
Yes, please. Yes, please. And keep us in the loop. Let us know what you've got coming up and where you're going to be and what's happening with you. We want to know all of that.
Thank you for saying that, and I definitely will be staying in touch with you all. This is a thrill to be here today, and to have my music go out. I love it where you are located, that this is happening across the country for me. It's just superb. It's been a big lift for me to have you guys have me on your show. I just can't thank you enough. So we
Plus,
let's definitely stay in touch.
and plus our reach is actually because
Global.
yeah, because not only nationwide, but I'm also Iowa Pagan News is also known over in the UK as well.
Yippee! Yahoo! Great, good for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the Metaphysical Times just was already in Scotland and the Netherlands when I picked it up, and we just added Canada and are working on Australia. So,
amazing.
And you're being broadcast to the Metaphysical Times Facebook page right now. So,
hey, hi everybody.
Yep, and also to our YouTube channel and to Twitter as well.
Oh, you guys are amazing. Wow, fantastic.
You are going out all over the place, so congratulations.
I am thrilled. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you guys asked me to be on the show and for everything that you're doing for me today. I can't thank you enough.
Now,
Absolutely.
you can also find Ann's music on Spotify. And all you have to do is just go over to Spotify, put in Ann Walsh, and you'll be able to find her music there on Spotify. And like I said, we've got her Facebook page scrolling across the bottom there for you. And then again, you can also find her music at annwalshmusic.org. And you'll be able to see the video as well there on her page. Just a fantastic job done with that video. I waited to watch it until we played it here because
you're getting our initial response to see
good. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so pleased you liked it, and I'm so pleased that it's made an impact on you guys. So when I get the next one up, I'll give you a ring. I enjoyed being on here today, and I appreciate your giving me, a platform to talk about my music.
Absolutely, and we'll be in touch after the show, and
most definitely,
and touch base with you and find out what's happening if we haven't heard from you. So don't sweat it. We'll be in touch.
Great. I look forward to being in touch with you guys, and I wish you all the best. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And once you've got some shows coming up, when you get bookings, let us know so we can get those up on the business page as well. That way people can know where you're going to be at.
You're inspiring me, and I'm going to go out and get some gigs right now.
Good.
Right now.
We love hearing that. We love hearing that.
Yay! It's working. That's one of the amazing things for us. I mean, Earl and I got together in 2020 and tried to start the show up and get things going, and it just didn't congeal. It didn't come together. And then there was the whole, the pandemic thing. And now, like, it seems like January 2022, when he reached out and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. We were kind of on the fence. We kind of had that memory of what happened in 2020. And it was like, okay, well, let's see what happens. And for some reason, it's just boom. Like within 2 weeks of doing the show, we did 4 shows our first week. The next week, we were booked 5 days, and we have been booked 3 to 5 days ever since.
Good for you. That's fantastic.
It's going well. We're enjoying it, and we love the aspect that it doesn't just get us out; it gets everybody that we bring in out also, and it brings us all together, and we're connecting in ways we never expected to be able to do.
Congratulations! Good for you. You deserve it. You deserve it. That's great, and I'm so honored to be on the show today, and you guys have been lovely to me. I appreciate all your compliments and also the interesting conversations that we've been having. It's
absolutely. Thank you.
That's what we're here for.
Us. And it is what we are here for. Thank you for being a part of it.
You're welcome. And when I get the next video up, I'm calling you guys first.
Excellent. We love hearing that because I've had that happen now with 3 other musicians. First one was Wendy Rule when she released her dual vinyl album. She came to me first and said, "I'm coming on your show." I said, "Okay, Wendy, whatever you want."
It's coming together. It really is coming together and making it so that we're able to connect with, and that was the whole purpose, community with unity, or community through unity. My apologies. Building the community through unifying and helping each other grow.
Yes.
It's happening, and it's a phenomenal feeling.
Well, if you're interested in any more New Yorker and New Jersey, Hoboken musicians, I can turn you on to quite a few of them if you're interested in
Excellent.
that. And I'm sure they'd love to be on your show for sure.
Yep. Send them over our
There's
way.
April booked. April, May, and half of June. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd be happy to do that.
And make sure you get the calendar out.
Thank you. That will help us out tremendously. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. One hand washes the other. We're all in this together. Spreading art.
We're watching the magic happen right here. That's what's got me so excited. This is the magic of it. You are watching the magic happen right now.
Right. Good for you.
All right.
All right, Earl. Carry on. Time to wrap.
Yep, we're going to wrap things up. Want to let everyone know and remind everybody that they can also find our merchandise on our website at www.iapnradio.net. We've got hoodies, we got t-shirts, and we've even got tote bags.
Ooh.
So be sure to stop over and purchase some of the merch that we've got for sale. Also,
radio station.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And then also check out the new Facebook page for our new first annual Midwest Podcasters Conference that we're going to be holding here in West Des Moines, Iowa in mid-August next year.
Ooh. August 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Big, yeah.
This is going to be a huge undertaking for us putting on a show like this, which I'm stoked and looking forward to. I'm inviting podcasters, streamers, gamers, musicians, authors, you name it, from all over the place.
Great.
So check that out. Also, be sure to check out the website for the Pagan Rights Coalition. And
we are partnered with them.
We are partnered up with them.
Cool.
And then also be sure to go to the website for Metaphysical Times, pick up a subscription, also become a distributor.
Yeah, we are trying to get we are trying to expand the reach for Metaphysical Times. We are currently global, but it's like 1 or 2 locations in countries all over the world. We want to get that bigger. So holler at us.
It's another, he's going to I'm going to get my job cut out for me.
Ed's our production manager, so we're like, yes, let's hit up all the musicians to come do interviews with us. And Ed's like, yeah, let's do that.
I'll get you some people from here in the New York area if you want. They'd be honored to be on your show, and they'd love the exposure for sure. So
definitely send them over our way. We'll get them on the schedule, and that'll fill up April.
June. Yeah.
I would love to. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Thank you so
and I'd
much
love to bring you some other musicians too, so you can. I know they'd be happy to have this type of publicity for sure.
Excellent.
Shoot us a list if they're concerned. Go ahead and shoot us a list of names and email addresses. We'll reach out to them.
Okay, I definitely will. Yep. Definitely.
As usual, and if you have questions, you can email us directly at iowapagannews@gmail.com or to me directly at earl@iapnradio.net. And you can also email Christy as well. We've got her information up on the website at iapnradio.net. So you can contact her. You can contact her through the Metaphysical Times. And as usual, stay safe. Keep everyone safe around you. And as I say, for the next few days here in the Midwest, stay warm. We're going to have another cold spell, even though we had that devastating tornado that went through central Iowa yesterday. Yeah, it did some pretty horrific damage.
I
But
saw that.
yeah, but luckily it skipped over us. So thankfully for that. Have a good day, everyone, and we will see you again here later on this week. Thank you for tuning in. Pleasant journeys.